What's going on, y'all? Sounds here with another beat making tip video. In this video, I'm gonna get into some of the different types of sampling. I'm gonna get into just looping a sample and showing how you just drop a beat around that. I'm also gonna get into two different ways of chopping samples and how I work those two methods of sampling. But yeah, this video is for anybody as far as production goes, whether you're a beginner or you're a seasoned producer and you want to sharpen your skills in this area. I know a lot of people have trouble with certain things as far as sampling goes. They have trouble with certain parts of it. I'm going to show you some things in this video that might help you out in some of the things that you're struggling in. Yeah, but if you want to check me out, you can hit me up, send me any messages with any questions you have. You can inbox me or you can just leave them in a comment below this video. I will be leaving the links to my SoundCloud and my Facebook below this video if you want to go check out some more beats. The beats that I do have in this video will be on SoundCloud if you want to go check them out, so I'll put the links below this just in case you want to go check it out. Alright, so let's get into the video. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remake an old song by the Fugees called Ready or Not. They sampled a song by Enya called Bodicea, I guess that's the name of it. But it was a pretty ill sample. All they did was take it and slow it down. So I'm going to show y'all step by step how to make this. And this part of the video is going to be just looping the sample. So here goes the sample here. Alright, so now I'm going to take that and I'm going to chop off what I don't want off of it and just keep what I do want. So that's all I want to keep right there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just slow the sample down. I'm not really matching it to the actual speed of the Fugees version of it. I'm just kind of eyeballing it right now, just doing it by ear. So I'm going to keep it at that tempo right there. Now next thing you want to do is you want to match your tempo to the sample. So now you got your sample there ready to go. So what you got to do now is record the sample in there. actually record it on there, and then see if the you want to play the metronome while the sample plays. That way you can match it up with, match the tempo of your beat to your actual sample. Alright, so now that we set the tempo to the sample, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go ahead and drop the hi-hats over. It's a real simple hi-hat sequence that they use. And I'm going to just drop the bass and the kick over it. I mean the kick and the snare. I'm going to just drop that over it. So here we go. And that's basically it when it comes to looping the sample. I mean, that's all they really did in that beat when it comes to Ready or Not. So that's all that looping the sample is. You can add more to it if you want to, put some keys to it or whatever. But actually, when you're looping the sample, especially with a sample like this, it already has a lot of music in it. So you really don't need to add much to it other than the song. When you're writing the song, if you want to rap to it, sing to it, whatever. And that's all that's really needed when it comes to looping a sample, depending on how much music the sample actually has in it. If you're just sampling a voice by itself with no music behind it, yeah, you're probably going to have to add some music to it. But for a sample like this can make it real easy, real simple, and that's how simple it is when it comes to looping a sample. Alright, in this part of the video, I'm going to go more into chopping samples. This is probably a less popular form of sampling, and I would say only because it's more work. When it comes to looping a sample, all you got to do is take the part that you want and just loop it, let it repeat, and drop a beat around it. In this part, you got to get more creative with it, which means you're going to have to take the sample, chop it up into pieces, and then try to create something out of those little pieces. Which with that, you actually have more control over the sample. But in this one, this is a beat that I already dropped. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the samples that I used. Here's the pieces that I took. Those are actually sped up already when they're chopped up. But out of those pieces that I took, and that's actually a Christmas carol that a lot of people have sampled. It's pretty common. Everybody knows that sample. But what I did is I chopped it up the way that I wanted it. And actually I kind of looped it and I chopped it at the same time because I just kept using this part. And I took that part, and then I took the other chop pieces and I played other stuff around it. So I had, I really had to get creative to make the beat that I wanted out of it. So it was more like. But I mean, that's all I really did with that is I took those pieces out of that Christmas Carol and then created that whole beat around it. Just dropped the whole beat. I'm gonna show y'all the drum beat to it. Just dropped a simple hi-hat sequence like that. I took some drums. What I did with the kicks is I used a couple of different kicks. I used that kick. I actually layered it with some other kicks. But that form of sampling right there, with that, I wasn't really worried about what the sample said as far as the words go in it. So I wasn't really trying to spread a message or nothing with the sample. Certain samples, when you sample words, you want them to say something that makes sense that can actually be the hook of the song. And for that one in particular, I wasn't worried about that. I was more worried about the way it sounded and how the melody in it made the beat, because it sounded hot with that with the way those melodies came together. That beat is available on SoundCloud if you want to go check it out. I'll put the link below this video. But next, what I'm gonna get into is the other way of chopping samples with it, which is what I just talked about, where I used the voice, but the voice actually says something which will actually be your hook when you make a song to it. Alright, in this part of the video, what I want to talk about is another type of sampling, which is basically the same type as chopping samples. I'm chopping samples still, but what I'm doing here is I'm making the sample say something. So I took certain parts out of this sample to make it say what I wanted it to say. And I got a little more creative on this one, because you actually have to put it together and make it make sense at the same time. So here's what I did. I took a sample from Eva Cassidy, and I actually chopped it up into different pieces and took the words out that I wanted it. So here's what I did with it. So that's what I did with that. I chopped the samples up. I took that, I only took 4 parts out of that sample to make that come together the way it came together. But then also what I did was I took another part of the song where she just basically just, and that's going behind that. So I just keep hitting that like. And I just play the phrase. That's all I did with that, was I just played around with that and I dropped the beat around it. And also when you're dropping the beat around it, you want to make sure that the beat matches the feel of the sample too. Along with, you know, the tempo going along with it too. But you want to make sure that everything goes along with it. Let's say when I just dropped a simple hi-hat. There's actually like 3 different hi-hats on this too. And that's the kick I dropped over. Nothing crazy. You know what I mean? The only thing that really made the drum beat sound as crazy as it does is the way I did the hi-hats on it, because I did them real fast and I did all different hi-hats on it. I actually used 3 different hi-hats on that one just to make it come out the way it did. But as far as the drum beat goes, it was really a simple drum beat that I dropped on there. It's it's that simple kick and the snare, the simple for the snare, you know what I mean? Nothing, that's all I did with the snare. Blended a couple snares just to give it the sound that I wanted it, panning. That was it. Then I dropped like 3 different, tempos of hi-hats. It was actually the same hi-hat. I put them on different pads and then like tuned them a little bit just so I wouldn't get the flanger or phaser effect out of it. Then I had that one dropping there every now and then. You know what I mean? And then this one goes right through it. Just like that. You can hear it. Then even as far as the instruments go, I dropped the piano in there. I dropped that lead in there for like some bass on it. I didn't do too many like instruments. I just did that right there. Dropped the guitar on it. But that guitar actually matches the sound that's in the sample. There's a guitar sound inside the sample that's actually going something like that. So I wanted to bring that out more, so I put that over it just to give it a little bit more depth or whatever. And I put a little bass line on it. The bass line isn't much, that's all it is. And you can't really hear that bass line in there, but it just gave it more depth to the whole beat. That's what I did with that one, just to make it sound crazy like that. This beat will be available on SoundCloud also, if you want to go and check that one out. I don't know if I'm going to put it up for download or not yet. I'm still debating that. But yeah, man, that's everything I got so far for this video. You can check out the rest of my beat making tips on my channel. If you go to my channel, just click on beat making tips on the right. You'll see all the rest of the tips that I have up there. And also I have beat making videos up there if you want to hear some more of the beats. You can also check me out on Facebook. I'm up there. But for now, I'm signing off, and I'll see you on the next video.